For most, the football season ends for the summer, but for Gibraltar's young and aspiring referees, the work continues all year round. A few weeks back, 4 of Gibraltar's young officials made the trip to Portugal, where they officiated in the Iber Cup, a tournament which attracts many top clubs from around the world. Well, Seth, you recently returned from the Iber Cup in Portugal. How did it go? How did the refereeing go for you?
It was good to referee in that tournament because it's only been my first year refereeing, and it was a good experience to go referee in a tournament like Iber Cup. It was good for me. I've learned a lot from that experience, and hopefully next season I will be a better referee than I am now.
And just tell us, I understand you actually got chosen for one of the finals in the Iber Cup, so that must have been the main highlight for you.
Yeah, it was the main highlight for me because I was quite happy being chosen to do the under-10 final. It shows that I progressed well in the tournament, and I must have done well enough to get the final. It was quite good.
And obviously we've seen you here in Gibraltar refereeing junior games, even some friendlies, senior friendlies as well. How does it compare to refereeing in Gibraltar? It's obviously officiating teams that you've maybe never seen before or heard before.
It's a big difference. Not only the footballing level, but it's different because in Gibraltar you know everybody, you know, oh, this player's going to cause problems, and you go into the match with the mindset. But in Iber Cup it was different. You go there with an open mind, and you're ready for anything and everything really. So it's quite good. It's better. I think it's better.
And finally, Seth, as you just mentioned, this is just your first year as a referee in Gibraltar, so I'm expecting big things from you in the future. So you're going to keep working hard as a referee?
I'll try to work as hard as I can and hopefully achieve Premier Division one day.
For the younger two, the work ended there, but for Glenn and Andy, there was still work to be done. Glenn travelled to Ireland, where he took part in the prestigious Milk Cup, whilst Andy went slightly further afield in search of games to officiate as he travelled to Norway. Well, Andy, you also went to the Iber Cup, not your first time. I remember you went last year, and we spoke to you last year as well. Just how did the tournament go this year, and what sort of differences did you find from last year to this season?
Well, I obviously refereed a higher level than I did last year. I've obviously developed as a referee this year, so I think this year it was a result of my development. And I went and I reached the quarter-final, so I think it went very well.
Now, as a young and aspiring referee here in Gibraltar, obviously a very busy season, and referees tend not to stop for the summer months, as you guys prove. You travel away. Is this sort of an incentive for you guys to keep working hard throughout the summer months to be able to go to Portugal and referee in that sort of competition?
Yes, obviously. I mean, this is a chance for us to develop, and as the players, they have their pre-season. We have to have a pre-season as well. We have to have a preparation just like the players, and that is what we do during the summer months. We go to abroad, and this is also something to look forward to for us for the season, during the season.
And the work didn't stop for you there in Portugal. You actually went to Norway a couple of weeks ago, refereeing in the Norway Cup as well. So how did you find that?
It was a very good experience. I managed to reach a semi-final. I did not expect to reach that far in the tournament. I actually expected not to go past the group stages, as there were 400 referees, but I reached the semi-final, and it was a very good experience, and it was definitely a big learning curve for me as a referee.
Now, one thing that people who aren't involved with refereeing or officiating that they might not be aware of is that at the end of the day, referees are actually competing against each other in the group stages to try and make it to the latter stages of the competition. So not only trying to keep the competition to a base level on the pitch, but also competing yourselves as well.
Yeah, I mean, we get picked up on very, very technical things, and that's just what people don't realise, that refereeing is actually harder than it actually seems from a spectator's point of view. When you step out onto the pitch, it's a completely different feeling to when you're playing, for example, and refereeing is harder than it seems. That is basically the point. Basically, the point of going to these competitions is not really to reach a final or to reach a semi-final or to even go past the group stages. Is to develop yourself as a referee, and you develop yourself, and you see how far you can go, and that should make you a better referee when you go from this tournament, and that should be the aim for every referee who goes to these tournaments or referee in general.
Well, Glenn, you are one of 4 referees that went to the Iber Cup in Portugal. We've just spoken to Seth and Andy. How did it go for you?
For me, it was actually brilliant. The part of it was all about development, learning, and that's the most important things end of the day, the learning part of the tournaments.
Now, the Iber Cup seems to be a very high-profile competition in the summer months. You've got teams from all over the world travelling to Portugal for the Cup. So it must be a bit of a goal set for any referee to try and make it, or at least the young referees to try and make it to this Cup. And you have actually gone a couple of years in a row now.
Yeah, it's an actually brilliant tournament because there's different teams from different parts of the world. So everyone's got different culture, languages. So you have to bring body character, your arm signaling, you have to bring everything into the game.
And how does the actual, obviously, football in different parts of the world is played differently? There's different styles, different techniques. How does Gibraltarian football compared to the football that you witnessed at the Iber Cup?
Well, like I said, it's all different. You've got Gibraltar, which is quite a pacey game. You know everyone, so everybody speaks to you in different ways, I guess. In there, you just set a level from the start of the game, and they will respect you all the way through.
And moving on now, like Andy, you were also involved in another tournament apart from the Iber Cup. You actually went to Northern Ireland for the Dale Farm Milk Cup, a very prestigious cup here there in Northern Ireland. Just tell us how the opportunity came about for you to actually go to that tournament.
Well, it all starts first with commitment and being determined. First of all, coming training, improving all the time. And I was invited to this amazing youth tournament with a lot of youth talents, which is quite, for me, it's the best experience I had so far.
Now there's several age groups I understand in the Milk Cup, as in the Iber Cup as well. What sort of a standard of football are we talking in terms of junior levels?
Well, in levels, I would say it's the top levels. You had Manchester United that won the tournament. You probably see players playing in the Premier League soon. You've got elites, under 21 of international matches, and you've got under 15, under 13s, but with the top teams with top levels, and the players are great to referee them.
And finally, Glenn, I understand that although the Milk Cup is behind you, work doesn't stop for neither yourself or your fellow colleagues. I believe you're now undertaking some training for some qualifications.
Yes, every summer we carry on training. At the end of the day, we have to put our parts. If not, it's going to affect us during the season. So hard work is always a big thing here. No hard work, you won't get the games in.
Whilst domestic sporting action has been at a premium over the summer months locally, the same can't be said for Gibraltar on the international stage. The major event for multi-sports has of course been the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, with Gibraltar represented by 26 athletes across 8 sports. Gibraltar basketball in its 50th anniversary year saw 6 of its national sides in competition in FIBA Europe's Small Countries tournaments. The under-16s travelled to Malta. The under-18s were in Andorra, while the senior men hosted the competition here and the senior women travelled to Austria. The highlight for Gabba came from the under-18 men who claimed silver in Andorra a month ago. Elsewhere, tennis pro Amanda Carreras has continued on the ITF tennis circuit and has again begun to produce the results which have seen her move up the world rankings. And Gibraltar's athletes have also been competing on the international stage. It's been a busy summer for Carl Baldacchino, who ran in Oregon, USA at the World Junior Championships, and he competed last week along with Kelvin Gomez and Kim Baglietto for the European Championships, which were held in Zurich, Switzerland. Carl was first up on Tuesday in the 400 metres heats. He was outside his season's best, finishing in 55.09. Kim ran on Wednesday morning the 800 metre heats and was off her personal best by some distance, clocking 2 minutes 24.47 seconds for the 2-lap race. And Kelvin ran on Friday morning in the first heat of the 1500 metres and finished in a time of 4:05.71. That's all for this week's programme. Next week we'll be focusing on the GSLA summer programme, which is in its final week. For the Sportsport team, thanks for watching and bye for now.